Raheem Sterling, Chelsea's bomb squad, and Wrexham. Three things that shouldn't go together, but what if they could? One former Welsh international reckons this transfer could actually happen, and honestly, it's not as mad as it sounds. Alright Wrexham fans, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button because we're covering the Red Dragons like nobody else, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. Three massive stories for you today. First up, Max Cleworth's talking about the quality shining through at the racecourse. Then, we're diving into Phil Parkinson's incredible milestone, 200 league matches in charge. But stick around for the last one, because we're talking about a potential transfer that sounds absolutely bonkers on paper until you actually think about it. Raheem Sterling to Wrexham. Yeah, you heard that right. Let's get into it. Story 1. Right, let's start with some proper good news from inside the camp. Max Cleworth is absolutely buzzing about where Wrexham are right now, and honestly, you can hear the confidence pouring out of him. The 23-year-old centre-back scored his first goal of the season in the dying seconds against Blackburn Rovers last time out, salvaging a point at the racecourse. Not a bad way to announce yourself, is it? But here's what's really interesting about what Cleworth said after that match. He's talking about the squad finally clicking together after what was a massive summer overhaul. We all know there were plenty of ins and outs, and it's taken a bit of time for the lads to gel. That's completely normal when you're bringing in quality like Josh Windass, Nathan Broadhead and the rest. You can't just throw players together and expect instant chemistry. 8 games unbeaten in the Championship now. 8! That's not a fluke, that's a team finding its rhythm. Cleworth put it perfectly when he said they've got quality in every position, and that regardless of who's playing or who comes off the bench, they're dangerous. That's exactly what you need at this level. This weekend, they're off to Deepdale to face Preston North End. Now, Wrexham already beat Preston there earlier in the season in the League Cup, so there's no fear factor. Preston are 5th in the table, sitting 4 points and 5 positions above us, but they haven't won any of their last 3 league matches. Paul Heckingbottom's side are wobbling a bit, and if there's ever a time to go there and nick 3 points, it's now. Cleworth's keeping it humble, saying it'll be another tough championship battle, but you can sense the belief growing in this squad. They know they belong at this level, and more importantly, they're proving it week after week. But that's not the only news coming out of the racecourse.
Phil Parkinson hit a massive milestone on Saturday, and it's worth taking a moment to appreciate just how special this man has been for Wrexham. 200 league matches in charge. That's not just a number, that's a legacy being built right in front of our eyes. He's now only the 6th manager in the entire history of Wrexham AFC to reach that mark, joining legends like Ernie Blackburn, John Neal, Dixie McNeil, Brian Flynn and Dennis Smith. Proper company to be keeping that. And here's where it gets even better. Out of those 200 league matches, Parkinson's won 119 of them. Let that sink in for a second. That's a win rate of nearly 60% across 200 matches. That's not just good management, that's elite level consistency. Under his watch, Wrexham have picked up 405 points out of a possible 600, which works out to just over 2 points per game on average. For context, that's promotion-winning form season after season, and we've seen it with our own eyes. 3 promotions in quick succession, taking this club from the National League all the way up to the Championship. Think about where Wrexham were when Parkinson walked through the door in the summer of 2021. Stuck in non-league football, years of frustration, feeling forgotten by the wider football world. Now look at us. Championship side, Hollywood owners in Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, a documentary that's made the Red Dragons famous across the globe, and a manager who's delivered the goods time and time again. The numbers don't lie. Parkinson's been absolutely brilliant, and with the trajectory this club is on, you wouldn't bet against him hitting 300, 400 matches and beyond. The man's building something truly special here, and Wrexham fans know how lucky we are to have him. Now, those were both fantastic stories, but what I'm about to tell you next is genuinely wild. This could be one of the most talked about transfers in Wrexham's history if it actually happens. Ready for this? Right, here we go. The big one. Raheem Sterling to Wrexham. I know what you're thinking. Absolutely no chance. A former England international, a Premier League winner with Manchester City, someone who's played at the highest level for years. Why on earth would he drop down to the Championship to play for Wrexham? Well, former Wales and Liverpool striker Dean Saunders reckons it's not only possible, it actually makes sense. And honestly, when you look at Sterling's situation right now, Saunders might just be onto something. Let's set the scene. Raheem Sterling is completely frozen out at Chelsea. He's part of what they're calling the bomb squad at Stamford Bridge, training away from the first team in West London. The 30-year-old hasn't played a competitive match since May, and that was on loan at Arsenal. Since then, nothing. Absolutely nothing. His Chelsea career is over in all but name, and with the January transfer window just weeks away, he needs to find a way out. Now, here's where Saunders comes in. Speaking to Boyle Sports, he didn't hold back. He said, and I quote, "Raheem Sterling to Wrexham? Why not?" He went on to explain that players who've watched the Welcome to Wrexham documentary might be thinking to themselves, I'd love to play for them. And you know what? He's got a point. Saunders is genuinely baffled by Sterling's situation at Chelsea. He said, I can't get my head around it. What's going on? He's not over the hill. He's a very good player. And he's absolutely right. Sterling's only 30. He's got years left in him. And the idea that he's just sitting around wasting away at Chelsea is mental. But here's the reality check Saunders also provided, and this is important. The Championship is no walk in the park. He's managed at this level, and he pointed out that Premier League players often come down to the Championship and can't believe what hits them. The schedule's relentless, every match is a battle, and when you go into places like Millwall on a cold Tuesday night with the ball in the air all game, it's a completely different world from the Premier League. So would Sterling actually want that? Could he handle it? That's the question. But let's talk about why Wrexham would even be in the conversation. Saunders made it clear that Wrexham is now an attractive destination, and it's all thanks to the Hollywood takeover. Reynolds and McElhenney have poured serious money into this club. They've signed players like Josh Windass, Nathan Broadhead and Kiefer Moore, proper championship-level talent who can compete week in, week out. Saunders said he's hearing what some of these players are earning now, and it's clear that ownership is willing to back the club financially. Here's what Saunders said about the journey. He said, I always thought if we could get Wrexham back in the league, we could go up again to League One. Then you get to League One and the budgets can be 5 million. You get teams like Sunderland with 20 million. To get into the Championship, you're competing with relegated Premier League teams with massive budgets and Premier League players. That's the difficult bit. And to be fair, they have put their hand in their pocket. And that's the key point. Wrexham aren't messing about anymore. This isn't a League Two club punching above its weight. This is a Championship side with serious ambition, serious backing, and a story that's captivated the entire football world. Everybody wants to play for Wrexham now. They're famous worldwide. The documentary's been watched by millions. The racecourse is bouncing every week. There's a genuine pull to this club that didn't exist 5 years ago. Now, let's be realistic for a second. Would Raheem Sterling actually make this move? On paper, it sounds mad, but think about it from his perspective. He's 30 years old, sitting on the sidelines at Chelsea, getting paid but not playing. His career is slipping away. If he wants to resurrect it, he needs game time, and he needs it now. Wrexham could offer him exactly that. Imagine Sterling lining up at the racecourse, pulling on that red shirt, playing in front of passionate supporters who'd absolutely adore him. Imagine the documentary filming his arrival, his first training session, his first debut goal. It would be box office. It would be one of the biggest stories in football. But here's the thing nobody's talking about yet. If Wrexham could pull off a signing like this, it would send a message to the entire football world. It would say, we're serious. We're not just a feel-good story anymore. We're a club that can attract genuine Premier League talent. And that could open the floodgates. If Sterling comes, who else might follow? What other players stuck in similar situations might look at Wrexham and think, yeah, that could work for me?
Saunders also touched on the bigger picture for Wrexham. He talked about the catchment area between Wrexham and Cardiff, the academy pipeline that's starting to develop, and how historically clubs like Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Everton and Stoke would nick all the best young players from North Wales. But now, everybody wants to play for Wrexham. That's the power of what Reynolds and McElhenney have created. And here's my hot take on this whole Sterling situation. I actually think it's more realistic than people want to admit. Not guaranteed, not even likely, but realistic. Sterling needs a club, Wrexham need a statement signing, and with the January transfer window approaching, it's the perfect storm. If Wrexham can get anywhere near his wages, and let's be honest, if anyone can convince him to take a pay cut for the experience, it's Reynolds and McElhenney. This could genuinely happen. Phil Parkinson's been backed to spend in January. The club are sitting 10th in the Championship, only 3 points off the playoff spots. They're building something special, and a signing like Sterling could be the catalyst that takes them to the next level. Imagine what that would do for promotion hopes. Imagine the buzz around the club, the media coverage, the global attention. One more thing. Saunders said something that really stuck with me. He said, "If Wrexham get to the Premier League, I'll be delighted because it's a great club with great supporters." That's the dream, isn't it? That's what all of this has been building towards. And if signing a player like Sterling is what it takes to make that dream a reality, then why not go for it? It's a long shot, no doubt, but 6 years ago, if someone told you Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney would own Wrexham and take them from the National League to the Championship, you'd have laughed them out of the room. This club has made the impossible possible before. Why not again? So there you have it, 3 huge stories. Max Clayworth buzzing about the quality in the squad and that unbeaten run continuing. Phil Parkinson reaching his incredible 200th league match milestone with a record that speaks for itself. And the big one, Raheem Sterling potentially joining Wrexham in January, which sounds mental, but might just be brilliant. Let me know in the comments, would you take Sterling at Wrexham? Are you excited or skeptical? Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you Reds.